What's up guys, Akil here. I'm going to be bringing you a super quick video today on the surrender rotation. This is not a set in stone rotation, this is just kind of a guide on how you want to space out your abilities and whatnot. So let's get right into it. When you're going into surrender, you're going to want to, of course, pop surrender, completely refresh your dots to make sure that they last long enough for you to get your initial cooldowns off. You're going to go into Void Form and you're going to pop Void Torrent as soon as you get in there. Coming out of that first Void Torrent, you're going to want to go ahead and refresh your dots with a Void Bolt and pop Dispersion. Popping Dispersion early is important because you want to get it off cooldown at least one more time during your surrender. Now, when you're below 35% on the boss, you're going to want to space out your Shadow Word deaths. This is going to be after your first Void Torrent. So you're going to want to Void Bolt, Mind Blast, and then use a Global. In this case, you're going to want to use your Shadow Word Death if you have 2 stacks. Then you're going to go on to another Void Bolt and a full duration Mind Flay. Now your Mind Blast is going to come off cooldown again, so we're going to do Void Bolt, Mind Blast, and a Global, which you don't want to use another Shadow Word Death because the first one is still cooling down. So I typically do 1 tick of Mind Flay, but it's a good time to note that you can throw your Fiend in here if you want. Any Global will do. And then you're going to go back to a Void Bolt and a full duration Mind Flay again. Then the process is simply going to repeat itself up until your next Void Torrent comes up. Now your next Void Torrent should come up at about 60 stacks. Can be a little less, can be a little more, but somewhere in that neighborhood is generally when it's ready. Go ahead and pop it as soon as you can. And coming out of this second Void Torrent, your haste is going to be much higher than it was at the beginning. So you can go ahead and begin to clip off that extra global you've been doing. If you have low haste on your gear, then you might need to wait for a few more stacks, but this is a good time to be looking for it. Knowing exactly when is typically a little hard unless you have an add-on or something to tell you exactly when. But this is a good time to start looking for that switch. So after you do that switch, after your second Void Torrent, Void Bolt, Mind Blast, Void Bolt, Shadow Word Death, Void Bolt, Mind Blast, Void Bolt, Mind Flay. And you're going to want to clip this Mind Flay as soon as your Void Bolt is ready. I believe you're going to get 1 to 2 ticks, depending on where exactly you're at. And then you're going to do a Mind Blast, Void Bolt, and then you're going to do a second Mind Flay. This is to try and keep your Shadow Word Death cooldowns. You're basically trying to use it off of cooldown, but you want to save one. You want to keep one in the bank for an oh crap situation that can potentially save you. Now, once you go above 70 stacks, if you can, be looking at your insanity meter. If you're dropping low and you don't have any Shadow Word Deaths left, you want to go ahead and pop that Power Infusion. You really want to save it for the 80 mark, but if you need to go ahead and do it at 70, go for it. This is completely up to you as to when you use it. Try not, if you have to use it below 70, oh well. You want to get as much out of your surrender as you can, but ideally over 70 and in a perfect situation over 80. This is going to get you pretty much to the 100 mark. Once you get there, Shadow Word Death is pretty much the only thing keeping you alive. You're still going to want to Void Bolt, Mind Blast, Void Bolt as your standard rotation. Then after that, you're going to use your Shadow Word Deaths and your Mind Flay. Once you run out of Shadow Word Deaths, you're going to have to use your Dispersion. Because it definitely should be off cooldown by now, and it will guarantee you your 100 stacks. This is when you're going to start looking for your third Void Torrent to be coming off cooldown. Do absolutely anything you can to get those extra few seconds in. If you can get that third Void Torrent off, you are a god. You are doing amazing things in long raid fights. So yeah, that's it. If you want a more in-depth talk about it, I have another video I will link. And so yeah, have fun with that.